Hello and welcome back to our Ironman challenge. Now, when we left off, we made it to Sea Raider territory, and if you can believe it, we haven't died yet. Oh yes, it's quite a revelation, is it not? Anyway, let us make our way into this Sea Raider battle. We have 42 troops against their 16, and I think I'm still a little bit injured. I probably need to be a bit more careful of that in the future to try and make sure that we don't run into a battle when we are significantly damaged. Now, before we start the episode, I'm just going to show you that my difficulty settings are still on the same thing. If you'd like to play alongside me as well, you can always pause the video and copy them as you wish. You can always change them however you want as well. I don't really want the Ironman challenge to be something that's a huge grind or a chore for you if you end up playing alongside me. So just choose the settings that you're most comfortable with. Otherwise, what we're going to do is I'm just going to get ready with my cavalry right here. And, well, for the most part, Sea Raiders haven't been that difficult for us so far, which is a pretty nice revelation, actually. I thought that we were maybe going to have some difficulties with them initially, but now that we have a pretty significant amount of cavalry units, which I am now going to be charging in, we should be absolutely fine to deal with them. No problem at all. I'm just going to do some damage here and there. I don't really mind if my people end up getting themselves killed either, because, as I've said, if they do end up dying in some way and removing themselves from my party, then that just means that we have less wages to pay. And as our forces level up, I will be replacing, well, I will be replacing most of the dead Swadians with Nords or Vaegirs, either one, because we are very close by to both territories, and personally, I'm not entirely sure which one I want to go for, to be honest, because on the one hand, I think we probably do need infantry quite a lot. I think infantry is very, very useful in almost every way, but archers are very useful too, so I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to go for just yet, but that is, of course, a little bit in the future as we progress through these Sea Raiders. So I am going to be rescuing these peasant women and these farmers as well, because literally just because these farmers will eventually become hired blades. Hired blades are very, very good units, and otherwise peasant women can become sword sisters, and sword sisters are very powerful as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get that going. And we also have some nice gear right here. Look at this. Oh yes, that is some really, really nice gear. If I don't sell it, which I think I'm probably not going to at this point. Look at this. Yes. Oh, now this is really good. Okay, let's give this to Clethy. Does she have something else very good? Yeah, she has that. And what about a shield? I guess we can just replace that shield now as well. So she's got 2 Nordic shields now. And Ferentis can use this male chest piece as well. Very good. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking this quite a bit. Okay, I'm not going to give him the other Nordic shield because the thick wooden one is actually better, which is interesting to say the least. And let's have a look at the Nordic sword. I guess I'll give him the Nordic sword because it's a little bit better in terms of cutting damage than what he's currently using. So that seems good to me. Otherwise, let's level up some more Swadian man-at-arms. Let's get another knight. We actually have 2 knights now, if you can believe it. Unfortunately, the knights are, well, yeah, they're quite expensive in terms of their wages. They are 50 per one. So the more knights I get, the the more of a drain on our resources they're going to be. Now, of course, that means that I'm probably not going to be... it depends, but I'm probably not going to be taking too many of the man-at-arms and making them into knights, because I know that that's their final evolution. Yes, it's their final evolution anyway. It's their final upgrade, and man-at-arms are 30, so they are quite expensive as well, but just add on 20 to every single one of these, you're going to have a pretty big fortune on your hands. So yeah, that's definitely something that we have to be a bit watchful for, but otherwise we should be okay, because I'm going to be looking out for a tournament relatively soon, and I think we're going to be getting quite a bit of cash from the Sea Raider quest. And there's Boyar Mariga. He's really close by, so we should be able to head in there now. And Clethy is still really injured, but I'm hoping that maybe she's not going to join us. I don't really know, but we're going to try it nevertheless. Let's go in. Okay, Ferentis is here. Why do we have a peasant woman? A peasant woman is all the way at the bottom of my army. You've seen that. It's all the way at the bottom. That is kind of weird. Okay, I don't even know why that would be, but it's okay because we have a Swadian knight in here and a man-at-arms, and we've also got Ferentis as well, so I'm pretty happy with those selections. But otherwise, guess we just got to try our best. We just got to try our best and see how it happens. I think we should be okay. Ferentis seems to be... Whoa, okay. Okay, calm down, Ferentis. Calm down. What a beast. He is just absolutely murdering everything. I'm kind of surprised. Okay, well, I hope that he's going to stay alive. I can't even believe it. He doesn't even have the best weapon or anything like that. We need to give him, you know, like a blunt weapon to take some prisoners, or we need to give him a piercing weapon to do maximum damage. But I don't know whether he's really going to do very well with a slow piercing weapon, because the only piercing weapon I can kind of think of that is only piercing is a Morning Star of some kind. And those things usually are unbalanced. They're usually unbalanced and pretty slow, so I don't know whether we're going to give our companions these slow weapons, because if we end up giving them slow weapons and then they go up against, I don't know, they go up against someone else, like, I'm not really sure who to say right now, because if I was playing Pendor, I could probably say if they were going up against Scorpion Assassins, or if they were going up against, you know, some kind of assassin type unit that is generally going to have a much faster attack speed, then giving them a slow weapon is just going to be a death sentence. And that's kind of similar here, because I do worry that the companions will just continually get hit by faster, you know, faster attack speed enemies. And so maybe a Huskar or something like that would make a difference. That would probably be a bit problematic for us, but I think that's actually it. That is indeed a victory. Wow, very surprised. Okay, there you go. We succeeded in our quest. Take some of those olives. Wow, this is actually really bad loot. I'm kind of surprised at this. Oh well, I guess the main reward that we're going to be getting is literally from completing the task itself. So let's just level up this camp follower. And what else did I want to do right now? There was something that I wanted to do. Didn't we pick up something that I wanted to talk about right here? The javelin. The javelin, yes, okay. Someone said that I should give Clethy some thrown weapons, and I agree. I think it's a good idea, because she does have some power throw, and it would probably give her a little bit more utility, because as it stands right now, she just has a sword. I kind of wanted her to just focus on using the sword, but maybe this is going to help destroy some shields or something like that, and that might very well give us a kill or two, or might give her a kill, shall we say. I think that's going to be a pretty cool idea. And maybe we'll give her some better thrown weapons as time goes on, but I am not going to aim to increase her thrown weapon proficiency, because she's not meant to be a combat companion. At least my plan is that she's not meant to be a combat companion. So hello, Boyar Mariga, you're going to give me 1,500 dinars and 3 renown. And his relation is now positive with us, which is fantastic, which means that if I do want to create a Weaverian Dye Works in River Chegg, which is my plan, then we will be able to, because otherwise the guild master would have said, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, the lord of the town really hates your guts, you know, that kind of thing. So thankfully we were able to kind of appease him. And look at this. This might very well be something that we want to do, but here's the main problem with joining as a mercenary in Native. In Native, mercenaries get severely underpaid. It's a bit of a problem, really. It is a bit of a problem, so I'm actually going to say no, because my main plan was to just build up my renown by doing tournaments, by getting enterprises, you know, to get the cash and all that stuff. And now, here's the thing. If I was doing an Ironman challenge in a different mod that had lucrative mercenary, the lucrative mercenary submod, or the settings were changed to better reward mercenaries. I'm looking at you, Prophecy of Pendor. I'm looking at Sparta here. I'm looking at all of those mods that give a massive bonus to mercenaries in terms of payment. So I'm actually going to say no for this particular offer, which is a bit of a shame really, because I would like to have that extra cash, but I didn't really want to be put in a situation where I would have to fight, or where I would have a particular faction at war against us, because I still want to be able to access all towns to be able to find the various companions that we still need. We still need a whole bunch. And I was hoping that I could maybe get Matheld now, because we do have almost 2,000. So maybe I can go back there and maybe I can find her, which would be pretty fantastic. But yeah, you can see here the loot that we gained from that was just absolutely pitiful. Now, I know that some people in the comments are probably going to be saying things like, well, you could have become a mercenary and then you could have raided some villages, and you know, you could have not lost any honor as a result of that, because if you're a mercenary and you raid a village, usually you're not going to lose honor dependent on the mod, you know, stuff like that. So generally that's a very lucrative way of making some cash. And that's the thing. Yeah, definitely is a really good way to make some cash, but I'd prefer to do a tournament, because that doesn't put me in so much of a risky situation, because as I said in the previous episode, probably a good idea to maybe make it so that tournaments are not a fatality in the way of a game over for the Ironman challenge. And as a result, we're probably going to just keep it so that if I do die in battle, in an actual battle where it is life and death, then that will be the game over. So here we go. We've got Sargoth. Sargoth is the closest, and I'm just going to punch the tournament master because that's what I do apparently. So sorry. Oh, what is going on here? Look at this. Wow. The Nords are getting murdered like no one's business by the Vaegirs. I'm actually kind of surprised that they were doing that. Oh, Tundra Bandits, 28 of them. Hello. I would like to be able to fight you guys. Could you come back, please? I think this would be a really, really good opportunity for me. There we go. Nice. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, once again, going to try and follow with the cavalry, and the infantry are going to go to the top of the hill here. Bear in mind that I believe most Tiger Bandits are going to be archers. So with that in mind, my cavalry-centric force at the moment is going to just absolutely tear through them, which is very, very good. Otherwise, where are the enemies coming from? Ah, there they are. They're using the tree to cover their advance. Very clever. Okay, so let's not get killed. I just imagined right there, as I looked down to place the flag for my infantry to hold position, getting shot in the face at that exact moment. That would have been really, really bad, wouldn't it? Absolutely awful. Okay, so thankfully, it seems like my forces are doing all right at the moment. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to lead my cavalry over here, and hopefully my infantry will be able to deal with the various units in that area, and then we're going to tell our cavalry to charge in from this direction. So we've already split the enemy. As you can see, we've got enemies fighting my infantry force, and now we're just going to run them down with my cavalry as well. Got to be a bit careful here. Whoops, almost killed one of my own people, even though friendly fire is not really a thing. But yeah, if it was, then almost, you know. I'd like to be able to kill this guy if at all possible, but we've already leveled up, so it doesn't really matter too much. Oh yes, and by the way, personally, I would probably give I'd probably give the advice, if you're going to start the Ironman challenge, to probably spec more points into strength and agility initially than I did. So if you're going to, you know, copy what I did, then it might not be the best idea. The only reason I did that was because I wanted to get that initial intelligence, just so that if I needed to, I could spec into pathfinding, or I could spec into something else that is intelligence based, like surgery or something like that, if I ended up not finding or changing my plan in a way where I'd have no medic. So it's just a bit of a adaptation kind of thing, and maybe not so having, you know, not having a huge amount of confidence in my ability to find that medic or find the pathfinding companion that early on. So yeah, anyway, the point is that I would highly recommend, if you're going to, you know, do something like this, definitely spec more in strength, because I'm finding right now that I feel pretty weak. You know, I feel pretty weak at the moment, so it would be much better to spec into something that's going to give you that little bit of extra HP, or if you have access to a good shield, or you know where a good shield is going to be, then spec into shield. Shield is an absolutely fantastic ability and really does make shields almost impenetrable for the most part. Well, some of the time, shall we say. Anyway, I'm going to level up agility once again and just go for looting. We're just going to go straight up looting with her. And then when she levels up a little bit more, we will start leveling her intelligence and things like that. And I'm probably going to give her a crossbow or something so that she is useful in sieges, because while she has 3 in power throw, she's probably not going to be the most effective at utilizing it. So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. Anyway, I'm not even entirely sure what I should really be doing with Ferentis here. I think, I think he's going to be like a combat companion, isn't he? And he's going to eventually become a vassal if I create my own faction at some point. So we probably want to spec him into charisma. So let's spec him into charisma. Let's get him some leadership. And otherwise, I guess one-handed, because leadership is going to be extremely important for him when he becomes a vassal. But we should also consider the fact that he probably needs some more pathfinding too, because we really don't want our companions running around as vassals with, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 units and being extremely slow and being unable to encounter anyone. So he already has 10 in intelligence, so that's a really nice milestone. So we can basically get him to, I don't know, 12 intelligence or something, and then he's going to be able to have at least 4 in pathfinding. So that's pretty good too. Otherwise, I'm aiming to get him about maybe 15, maybe 18 charisma, maybe more than that, but I doubt it's going to happen because he's going to take quite a while to level up at that point. But I'm aiming to get him a pretty high charisma skill for the most part. Okay, so I've actually leveled up twice since we last took a look at Mr. Beartild here. And I hope I'm not going to be idiotic Beartild in this particular instance, because I'm not used to having 2 attribute points to spend, so I'm going to go for agility. And that might very well be a mistake, but I really want to get that shield leveled up. And I also want to get a little bit of extra weapon points for our archery and maybe for our pole arms as well. So what else do we want to spec into here? Probably inventory management. Maybe some inventory management. That might make sense considering native does not have the ability for your companions to loot items. Like I was playing a mod recently, did a special feature on it, and it has the ability for your companions to take items, which is just fantastic. So I really like that. Otherwise, I don't think I'm going to be taking anything. Prisoner management might be something that's actually kind of useful. Should I take prisoner management? This is a leader skill. Inventory management is also a leader skill. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'll go for prisoner management because it is a little bit easier to unload loot than it is to unload prisoners. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm just going to level up my archery right there, because you never know if you're going to get a tournament that requires you to use a bow or something, and that would just be absolutely terrible to not have any proficiency. And it seems like the Sea Raiders escaped, which is unfortunate. But it's okay, because I'm actually heading on over here to Sargoth to potentially get into I might actually be there in time. Yes! There we go. We are actually there in time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave real quick because we are playing on realistic saving. I just want to make sure that we have the autosave just in case. You never know when a crash is going to come up. And we're going to go into the tavern real quick because I would like to see if there are any companions here. Oh yeah, by the way, it's probably a good idea to try and find as many companions as possible as early as possible. I know I said that in the previous episode, but I wanted to just reiterate on that because it is very, very good when you're in a tournament, because sometimes your companions will join you in the tournament, and if you're fighting your companions, then it's just easier for you to win. So, no offense, companions, no offense. Anyway, we're going to go and join the tournament. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to bet. Got to be very careful here. 4 teams with 8 fighters each. Now, bear in mind, we will not get a game over if I end up dying, but I would prefer not to die, if at all possible. So we're just going to eliminate all these Jarls as much as I can. Thank you very much. There we go. And technically what I could do now is I could actually tab out of the tournament, but I'm actually just going to let the tournament run for the most part, because usually if I'm going to play, I'll just eliminate the first 2 or... the first 2, I'll just get the first 2 kills that I can. And there you go. Okay, so I'm eliminated, but that's okay because I already have enough to advance to the next round. So, again, that does not count as a death because it's just a tournament. So, yeah, hopefully that is understandable for most people. If you want to play it yourself more strictly, then you can do that as well. So anyway, 2 teams with 5 fighters each. Okay, okay, I got an axe again. Pretty happy to actually be doing this tournament in Nord territory because Nords are well known for having pretty decent weaponry when you actually fight them, so it's pretty cool. Hopefully I'm not going to die here. Okay, there we go. Okay, I've already gotten through to the next round, so even if I do die now, it should be okay, but I'm not going to want to die, so I'm just going to win. Just going to win. There we go. All right, that's pretty good. Okay, so 2 teams with 8 fighters each. Are they giving us such grand melees? It's just way too much, in my opinion. I'm going to tell my people to hold position this time. Because what we're going to do... Can I tell them to... Oh, I can't tell them to hold position a little bit more closely. That's unfortunate. Okay, this is interesting. Oh dear. Okay, this is bad. I need to eliminate... can I... Oh, he got me. He got me. Okay, well, there you go. That's it. Been eliminated. I was... he got me with a really sneaky attack as well. Oh, well, there you go. Zarina actually did win that, which is unfortunate. Okay, so I'm going to ask for another tournament here because we really do need one. Wurchek. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Okay, so Wurchek actually has a tournament as well. Maybe it will be a little bit easier because it will be Vegir units, maybe Vegir Lords, and we'll see how that goes. But thankfully we did institute that rule where the tournament doesn't count, because otherwise that would be the end. Oh, it seems like it's not running anymore. Great, fantastic. You know what is quite amusing though? Basically, if I wanted to, if I had a strong enough army, I could basically go into Wurcheg right now and take this, because look at this. They only have 51 in the garrison. However, they do have some very powerful units. They've got 10 Vegir marksmen. That is their highest tier archer. So that's definitely something to be a bit wary of. But if you have, I don't know, 68 maximum, maximum army size, you might very well be able to take this pretty easily. So definitely something to consider if you're doing your own Ironman challenge. Take a look at Wurcheg, take a look at these places that are, recently conquered, because they are probably going to be the easiest to take. I mean, it's kind of obvious because the garrison is always going to be weaker at those places. Otherwise, let's go and speak to this guy, because I'm just going to say that I'll bring him the grain, but I'm not actually going to bring him the grain. I'll just take his volunteers and then move on. Yes, I am... I'm being a little bit dishonest there, but I kind of just want the recruits, I want the recruits. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here, if we can. Where is he? Where's the village elder? Was that him over there in the black robes? I think that was actually him. I've never really been into many villages, let's face it. Okay, so there you go. I can teach you how to defend yourself. Okay, so I might actually do this because this is going to give me some honor. So I might do that. So let's just pick up some more Nord recruits and then let's train the peasants. We do have 3 training skill. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, so that's going to take 10 hours. Okay, well, it's not too bad, I suppose. So I'm actually just going to show you the first fight, and then I'll cut in between the fights so that you can see each one. And this is just a training fight. So technically, even if I die here, it's still not really a death because we're using blunt weapons, even though, just knocking them unconscious is still kind of painful. All right, so here's the next one. And we will hopefully... I'm going to go for an overhead initially, and we're just going to stun him. There you go. That's the cool thing about blunt weapons, I've always found. They generally tend to have like this sort of passive ability to stun the opponent in some way. I don't know whether that is the case for every weapon when you get a nice hit on the enemy, but it always seems to be greater when you're using like a two-handed or when you're using a blunt weapon itself. So it's pretty cool. I like that. That's the reason why I always like blunt weapons as well. They're really, really fun to fight with too. So I'm probably going to get like a winged mace or something later on, at least, because that is going to probably get us quite a lot of money. First off, it's going to give us a lot of money. and, you know, in prisoners, and it's going to give us the ability to destroy enemy heavy armor. So if we're up against Swadian Knights or Nord Huskars or Saranid Mamluks or something like that, you're going to easily be able to get through those guys, and it's going to be perfect, absolutely perfect weapon to deal with those. And some people say that blunt weapons are generally just for like early mid-game, and it's better to go with like piercing weapons or something like that towards the end of the game, because then you're going to be able to do just dramatically that much more damage. And generally piercing weapons are going to be able to thin out garrisons. And yeah, I would definitely agree with that particular case. And here we go. We're now failing a couple of tasks, but I don't really want to do the cattle quests to begin with, because the cattle is it's very frustrating in native because they don't follow you unless you edit some files. But anyway, as I was saying, it's a really, really good idea to use piercing weapons if you can, especially in sieges, because if you're using a blunt weapon to defeat enemies in the garrison, they're going to easily be able to, just restore themselves, because they can basically just go back to the barracks, back to the infirmary, and they can restore themselves extremely quickly. Whereas if you've used a piercing weapon and they are dead, then they've been completely removed from the game, and you really don't need to worry about them anymore, which is a good thing if you're doing a war of attrition style siege, because sometimes that's just what you've got to do. You know, you've just got to do the attrition style, because it just takes so long to get through so many units. You know, sometimes these guys have, I don't know, 500, 600 in a garrison, and that's a lot to go through when you only have about 100 units in your army. Anyway, bandits are coming. Let's do this. I'm not entirely sure what kind of bandits, so I suppose we'll see. I think it's just regular bandits. I think we should be absolutely fine here, but bear in mind this is actually a bit of a problem, because I think if they kill me, then that's definitely going to be a game over. But they are using blunt weapons, I think. Are they? Some of them are using blunt weapons, some of them are not. So I have to be a bit careful about which one I actually get killed by, if I actually get killed at all, because I don't really want to say that I got killed by a blunt weapon when I didn't, you know? So we're just going to have to take a close look at our killer, you know, before he inevitably, potentially gets cut down by one of my own forces, because we don't have the after-death camera in native. But there you go. I think that's absolutely fine. We're losing a couple of peasants here, unfortunately. They could have just stayed back and saved themselves the trouble, really, because we would have been able to defeat the bandits no matter what. But I suppose they want to defend their homes, you know? And I can understand that. All right, let's see if we can, there we go, take him down. See, now that's the cool thing about the Nomad Saber as well. It's got that nice reach on it. It's really easy to use from horseback. All right, there's 4 renown, and I am not going to be taking anything from these guys, so we're just going to gain that honor, and as a result, look at this. We got even more Nord recruits. It's just insane how easily you can get like a full army. Look at that, 23 recruits, and I think I gained, what was it, 8 from Yeyek up here, and then the rest of them I gained at Fyhrr. Just one village. One village gave me all of these. Well, technically two villages. But, you know, the point is it's really, really cool to do that refresh technique. Really, really nice. Otherwise, oh yeah, I did say that I was going to leave the Swadian Knights, didn't I? Oh, now I've made a huge error. That is really bad. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go to word check. This is bad. Oh dear. You know, wouldn't it be amusing if I literally get myself killed literally just from not having enough money? And now I don't have enough for Matteld either. Oh, yeah, I am the idiotic bear-tilled right now. That is literally what is going on here. Okay, this is pretty awful. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Going to sell everything. It's not really going to do much, though, unfortunately. Going to sell all this, too, just to literally get enough money just to buy some food, because we need some. Oh, this is bad. Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm going to go back to Sea Raider territory. We're going to get into a battle with some Sea Raiders because we desperately need to. And maybe, just maybe, I can go into Rivercheck and find a ransom broker or something. That would be wonderful if we could do that. And let's see if I can find... Yeah, there we go. We got a ransom broker. Fantastic. This is great. Okay, even though it's not really going to give me that much, Sea Raiders are 112 per one, which is really nice. And Taker Bandits are not anything to sniff at either. Look at that, 104 per one. So now we have 1,400 dinars up from 90? Wasn't it 90 or something like that? That's pretty crazy. So yeah, taking prisoners in the early game is super, super useful. And I think I'm actually going to go into the... I can't go into the arena right now. Okay, I'm just going to wait here for some time, restore ourselves a little bit, and then we'll go into the arena when it's daytime and see if we can find another tournament. Uxkhal? Really? Uxkhal? Okay, that's kind of bad. Because if we go to Uxkhal and then it ends... It's going to be kind of frustrating, isn't it? Okay, you know what? Let's go back to Uxkhal then. That is unfortunate. Maybe we can find some people along the way. I mean, I am pretty slow right now, which is a bit of a problem, but we could go to Curor, actually. You know what? I'm going to just level these guys up, and then we're just going to disband the rest of them. Because you never know if I could come across a companion, and then I won't have enough space for that companion. That would be awful as well. Okay, so hello, anyone here? I could get Mattchu now, actually. That's the issue here. I could get Mattchu, but I kind of want to have that money for use in the tournament. Ooh, so, decisions. Very, very difficult when you don't have enough cash, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, if anyone is really proficient at trading in native, then by all means let me know some good routes, because I have never really done a good job at trading in native. So if you know any good routes, put it down in the comments. That would be very helpful. But otherwise, I'll maybe find out something myself, and we'll see what we can do about that. Because let's face it, if I really badly need to, I'm probably just going to try and shed most of my units. And if push comes to shove, and I'm just about to end up basically losing my entire army because of it, I would rather lose a couple of units and allow them to go wherever they want to go, rather than lose the whole lot, So we'll see how it goes. But usually I would say that money is not actually that big a deal to get, but we're just losing it from wages. And I think I may have expanded my army too fast. So if you are also going to be, doing this, then do not expand your army too fast. Just get 20, 30, maybe 40 units, then just fight some Sea Raiders. Let those people, if they end up dying, just let them die. And then don't expand too much after that. Just get a good nest egg, maybe do a tournament here or there, and then invest in your first dye works. That's generally what my plan was, but apparently my plan did not go to plan. So that is classic and very typical of me, isn't it? Yes, very typical. Hopefully I'm going to get enough loot from these forest bandits to be able to enter the tournament and actually bet on myself. Not that much. Not that much. Great. Okay. Well, let's head on over there. I think it's probably ended anyway. Yeah, it seems like it's ended. No, it's actually still here. Okay, fantastic. And there are no lords here either, which is really, really good. Because I really don't want to be in a situation where we're up against a bunch of lords, because they're going to absolutely murder me in every single way. Now, I have enough to bet on myself in every single round. So let's do this. Okay, let's try and win, yeah? Let's try and win. Let's try our hardest to win. And I'm try-harding. I am very much try-harding in this particular fight. I really don't want to lose. Okay, let's be a bit careful here. Yeah, I've got to be really careful, because we are playing on the high difficulty modifier. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to just give up the fight this time around, because I want to just get through to the later rounds a little bit quicker. 3 versus 3 versus 3 by the looks of things. Okay. Well, this is interesting. Oh, Clethy, I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, so that's exactly my point. If you do have the ability to fight your own companions, you're going to have a much easier time of things, which is kind of funny. Okay, well, could I kill the blue? Can I kill the blue guy? I'd like to kill the blue guy. He's really, really low in HP. Oh, never mind. I'll just kill the sword sister. Okay, there we go. So, as I say, if you kill 2 in any particular round and then you tab out, you're going to be able to go to the next round for free, which is really nice. Okay, you know what we're going to do? Come back here, guys. Yes. Yes. I'm going to be sneaky. Usually I don't do this because I think that it's more fun to just charge straight on it. Well, there you go. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that because I really thought, hey, you know what? This is going to be our chance to get a good amount of cash. I'm actually going to just wait here for some time and see if we can maybe enter another tournament right away. Sometimes there's another tournament immediately after the one that you've just failed, but it doesn't look to be that way this time around. My luck, my luck. Well, at least I'm getting, you know, my fill of dying in tournaments because at least then maybe I'm not going to die in an actual battle. It doesn't seem like there's going to be another tournament here, and I've only got 408 dinars. I don't even have enough to really level up my forces right now. So what I'm going to do is, I guess, maybe do some arenas. I'm not going to do that on screen, of course, because that's just, you know, busy work. But yeah, I'm going to do some arenas, I suppose, get myself a little bit of cash. I think you can only get about 200 or 250 from winning that, which is pitiful, to be honest. But who knows? Maybe what I can also do is, I might do this in the next episode, I might become a vassal, might become a mercenary of Swadia, or someone that's currently at war against someone else. I think Swadia is at war against the Nords or the Rhodoks, I think. And we'll raid some villages, because even though I didn't really want to do that because it's extremely risky, it might be the only way we can get some cash saved up. So maybe we'll see. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.